Today, we are visiting one of the most iconic stadiums in the United States, maybe even the world, and that is the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. We're starting here in this little garden that's dedicated to one of the most famous athletes to ever play in the stadium, Jackie Robinson. This beautiful statue is surrounded by plaques that commemorate Jackie Robinson and his life. And what a life he lived. Think about his time at UCLA, where he played football, basketball, and baseball. Come to think of it, he also ran track at UCLA. So what an athlete, what a legend. Of course, what he's most famous for is breaking the color barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947, and also his work, his civil rights work after he retired. Here's a famous picture of him with Martin Luther King Jr. So if you're ever here for a game or just visiting the stadium, check out this garden. You will learn a lot about Jackie Robinson. Now, let's go and check out the rest of the stadium. And there it is, that iconic sign, that logo that everyone knows, the Rose Bowl sign. This stadium opened in 1922. It's over 100 years old and it is still going strong. It is the home of UCLA football. It hosts major concerts every year. And of course, it is home to the Rose Bowl game every New Year's Day. So this is an awesome plaza in the center. Here you have the Rose, right? And then on the right side of the Rose, you have all what used to be the Pac-12 universities. So like Oregon State University, Washington State. And on the left side of the Rose, you have the Big Ten schools like Michigan, Northwestern, and Penn State. And then down here, you have the local schools, UCLA, and of course, the USC Trojans. Walking a little further down the plaza, you have this awesome statue dedicated to the great Keith Jackson. When I think of broadcaster Keith Jackson, I think of two things. One is that epic Gatorade commercial, and two is the Rose Bowl game. It was tradition, right? Every New Year's Day, you would turn on ABC, and there he was. Keith Jackson calling the play-by-play every single year. He called so many of those classics. I really miss hearing him on New Year's Day. And here behind his statue, similar to the Jackie Robinson Garden, you have plaques commemorating the life and career of Keith Jackson. In his illustrious career, he called 15 Rose Bowl games, and that's a record. That's more than any other sports broadcaster. And here again, standing in the plaza, you see that iconic Rose Bowl sign that greets you right at the entrance. Let's go take a closer look at it. Here you have a plaque that explains the history of the Rose Bowl game here at the stadium. It first began in 1923, a year after the stadium opened. Originally, the game was played at a nearby field. It's actually right next to Caltech University. The first ever Rose Bowl game was actually in 1902 and then was moved here in 1923. For a stadium that's over 100 years old, it has stayed untouched. It looks practically the same that it did when it opened in 1922. I'm going to go ahead and insert some pictures here of what it looked like back then. Like I said, the stadium has remained unchanged. An interesting bit of history that I learned on this visit is on this bench that commemorates the one Rose Bowl game that was not played here in Pasadena. In 1942, because of World War II and the fears of a Japanese attack, the game was moved to Durham, North Carolina, the only game not played here in Pasadena, California. And that concludes our visit to the Rose Bowl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all on the next video.